Now, Gavin, did you ever feel guilty actually leaving your children at all?
Absolutely not.
Really?
No. I see them all day, and I've had more time with them now than I've ever had in my entire life, their entire life, because one's 5 and the other one's only 11 months. But I know that I get home and I see them every day. Yeah. I see them every day, and they've also got mum with them as well, so I kind of swap them between the two of us. I do miss them. I mean, I was filming the other day outside London, and when I got home, it was as if I hadn't seen them for a whole week. I sat with them for a couple of hours, and even before bedtime, and I was like, don't go to bed yet. I just focus on the job, and I do miss him, but I see him as well. So
I think that's how a lot of parents feel. I mean, I feel about that now. I can't wait to kind of go, even though I'm glad I've gone out of the house and working, I can't wait to go home and just hug my son and think, oh hi, mummy's back.
Yeah.
And Majella, what about you? Because your children are older now, aren't they?
Yes, they are. So I've got a 9 and 11-year-old, and they're happy at school, really happy at school. So for me, I suppose the daytime is a bit easier for me now to work. But there are times, I was thinking over the summer holidays and trying to juggle summer holidays, and I have very high aspirations and expectations of the kind of summer holidays I want my children to have and to look back on fondly. And I know, as a working parent, it's those kind of periods that are challenging. The whole childcare and how to merge that with working kind of changes flavour as your children get older, and you have to adapt. So I'd be a fibber if I said it's perfect. I never miss them, because I do. But then if they're happy in what they're doing and I'm happy in what I'm doing, then the times together should be better.
And Gavin, what's your advice to parents watching this right now, and they're in a similar situation to you? What's your advice to them on how they can return to work?
Put your kids first and your working life second. But if you're freelance, you're working for yourself at home, then you got the best of both worlds. I would go out there and just do it. I mean, you really only have your kids wanting to stay with you up until a certain age anyway. If you start wasting your time now with them, you're never going to get that back. I'm lucky because I'm more bonded with my son and my daughter now than I could have been if I'd been working, doing a normal daytime job. Then I probably wouldn't have been able to see him as much, and I'm happy now.
I actually feel like crying for some reason. It's quite emotional. And finally, I want Majella parents watching this now thinking, I want to start work now. They're kind of sat at home with the children. They're ready to go back to work. What are your final top 3 tips to any parent watching this now?
So if you have decided you want to go back to work and that the timing is right for you, my first tip is to really start with that piece of paper and start writing down the things that are important to you, what you want from work, how you want to merge that with your family life, and to really understand kind of what you're about, your strengths and your weaknesses, and where you're prepared to make compromises, because you need to be really focused in your job searching, and you can't go out there scattergunning and the spray and pray tactic as many job seekers use, and it just gives you lots of rejection and lots of heartache. So you've got to write down what it is you really want and start focusing on that. The second tip would be to really get out there and start networking. If you're mixing week in, week out with the same people, then you need to widen your circle and to really start to understand what works for other people and kind of start to take some wisdom from them. Never compare yourself, but start to learn, and some of the things Gavin has said that has worked for him in terms of being a working parent and how he merges. So get out there and start networking, and there's lots of information now on the internet that allows you to kind of start building networks, and Twitter we've mentioned a few times today now. So there's some great ways of getting out there and talking to people and learning. And then the third bit of advice I would say is, don't be frightened of someone saying no. That little word of 2 letters holds many of us back, and it opens up this whole negative inner voice. And maybe you're listening to me now and thinking, I can't do it, it's all right for her, or I've seen too many of my friends who are really talented and they can't get a job, so what chance do I stand? So you know what that negative little voice is that keeps holding you back, and you've got to just put it away. It's got to be boxed off and told to be quiet. because rejection isn't a bad thing. We've all had to live with it. We've all had to overcome it. And the word no is actually not such a bad word if you can box it off and move on. So they would be the 3 tips. Work out what it is you really want. Get out there and start to talk to people. And then do not be frightened to ask for help and ask for information, because that little word no is not worth letting that hold you back.
Well, thank you so much to Gavin, Majella, the Museum of Childhood, and of course for you for watching. Make sure you join the VI Pregnancy Facebook group and also follow us on twitter.com/VI Pregnancy. Happy parenting, and I'll see you next time on VIP TV.
Join us on the #1 pregnancy and parenting TV show at VIPregnancy.com.